Hello everybody and welcome to Sin City Kitchen. I'm Alicia Shevetone, pop-up chef and cookbook author right here in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. And I turned 50 last year, very monumental time in my life, particularly because I wrote my first cookbook called Italian Cookbook for Two. It was a really great experience. Not only that, I had an opportunity to go back home to the Bay Area to actually put up my first pop-up event. It was at a winery, 60 people. I can't believe I pulled it off. But what was born out of that opportunity was actually one of my favorite recipes that I'm going to show you today, my grape and mortadella crostini. I hope you like it. It's all coming up next, right here on Sin City Kitchen. Next up on Sin City Kitchen, I'm going to make you a recipe that is very near and dear to my heart, my grape and mortadella crostini, which is actually in my first cookbook, Italian Cookbook for Two, and it's also the first recipe that I ever prepared on the air right when I became a pop-up chef. And it all starts with crostini. So crostini are pieces of sliced baguette. And you slice them very, very thinly. You rub them in olive oil, sprinkle a little bit of salt, and then you bake them at 400 degrees for about 10 minutes. And they come out nice and crispy like this. And you have to let them cool before you assemble the grape and mortadella crostini. So as they're cooling, it gives you plenty of time to make the topping. And the topping is very simple. It uses mortadella, which mortadella, actually my husband had a shirt made that says mortadella in my bones because that's what I said on my first TV appearance because I was nervous. But it is true, I think I do have mortadella in my bones. But this uses mortadella, which is basically Italian bologna. You put this in a food processor, kind of cut it up into some chunks, 3 or 4 ounces, along with a couple slices of shallot, and then about a dozen, 15 or so red seedless grapes. Buzz it all up, make it this consistency, and then it's time to assemble. The first thing that you do once your crostini are cooled is you put a little bit of mascarpone cheese. And mascarpone cheese essentially is like an Italian version of cream cheese, except it's a little bit sweeter, a little bit saltier, and it's a little bit gooier, particularly if you let it sit out at room temperature, so it looks just like this. And it's best to use either the back of a spoon or a little spatula like this, and put on, see how dreamy it is? Put on a first layer here, and then it's time to put the topping on. So we put probably about a tablespoon or so of topping and do it over the bowl so that it's neat, and in case any drips, then you're just dripping it right back into the bowl. And then on top of that, a little nod to mortadella, I actually put chopped pistachio. And the reason why is because depending upon some of the brands of mortadella that you buy, you might actually see pistachio right down the center of the slice. So oftentimes it's made, this one doesn't have it, so I'm actually bumping up the flavor with extra pistachio. And then I garnish with a half of a grape, put it right on top, just like a little tiara. And then you basically have a gorgeous appetizer that's sweet, salty, and actually pretty quite classy, don't you say? I think so. That's why I put it in my book. I hope you enjoy it. This is Grape and Mortadella Crostini. I'm Alicia Shevetone, Sin City Kitchen. Make sure to follow me for more interesting recipes like this, particularly Italian ones, because that's what I do. It's Alicia, and I'm at one of my happy hours at Vegas Valley Winery. And this is what I do. I pair appetizers with wine, and this is one of my plates. And I tell you something, the biggest feedback that I'm getting right now is for my roasted grape and farro salad. It's roasted grapes with a little bit of pistachio on top, a little bit of cheddar cheese. And in addition to that, I've got these Chesapeake cheddar biscuits.